Awesome. All right, well, Kim and Scott, thanks for coming. Today is SharePoint. I'm not sure, Kim or Scott, have either of you logged into Office 365 yet? Kind of give me an idea where to start now? Okay. Okay, then that makes it easy. We'll start from the beginning. SharePoint is housed in Office 365, and we had SharePoint. We had SharePoint 2007. We've moved up to SharePoint 2013. And the nice thing about SharePoint is it gives us a lot of options to organize documents and set permissions for files and documents. So we can have libraries or sets of documents that are blocked from view from certain groups or that are read-only. So unlike our U drive that's gotten a little cluttered over time and disorganized, and sometimes people accidentally delete other people's things, or you have a template and they save their changes to it, SharePoint gives us more options in terms of how we manage our files. So as we migrate over, it's going to be a very handy resource. I will be sure to email you some quick start directions to get you into Office 365. I'll walk you through now, but it's kind of hard to do it all at one time as you watch. But Office 365 is our cloud-based storage and web app program. The easiest way to get to it the first time is just to start at our Chippewa Valley page and go to Staff Links at the top right. And we're just going to scroll down through the alphabet to Office 365. When you log in, you're going to start by using your full district email address. And once you do that, you'll notice if you hit enter or click in the password box, immediately it's going to redirect you. This is part of our Active Directory that lets us use our same username and password. Once you get the second login window, you can do just your username and the same password you use to log into the computers at work.
Sarah, it's kind of weird, but we didn't see that second pop-up box.
Okay. Not sure I can make it come back up.
Right.
Trust me, you'll get a second pop-up. You'll probably get a little bit more of an intro screen. It'll look something like this. It shows you some of the different things we have within Office 365. Yammer is kind of like a Facebook for business that we're starting to play with. OneDrive is more for your personal documents. There are some sharing capabilities, but this is where you would store your personal things. And then Sites is what we're going to be working with today. That's our focus. And we also have web apps available. The web apps allow staff and students to work in Office products online. So without having to purchase or install the programs, you can use them through the Office 365 account. And we do actually have access to download them for free at home, as do our students. But that's really not today's focus. But if you want directions, I have them typed out and I can send them to you. So you have, from your intro window, you've got those options down here. And then at the toolbar, you have very similar options. So we are going to start at Sites today because, again, this is where SharePoint is. And when you get to Sites, mine's getting built up because I've been dealing with them, but we want Team Site. And we get two, and you can click either one. But you can think of it, Team is our district. We are a team of employees. Really, SharePoint is just a website. It's a website made for sharing and managing documents. So across the top, as well as across the left, you have navigation bars that will take you to different portions of the site. We've got our home site. We have curriculum and assessment. So this is where right now our curriculum leaders and Pam have been doing a lot of work to upload files and curriculum mapping and things like directions for NWEA and data directors. So they're providing a lot of resources for our teachers here. We have departments, and a lot of you will end up with some spots here. We're in the process of creating a business site. So we've got our Board of Education, we've got CTE, starting with, we've got business getting started, Ed Services has started to move some things over. And then we have committees, and some of you used committees a little bit this summer when we're getting ready for the new teachers, and we've been working with human resources to move some of our emergency planning materials over to a SharePoint site. So these are just links that'll take you to different portions of the site. And let's start actually with departments. I'm going to go to the public documents in Ed Services. So I've been working with the people upstairs to try and move some things from the U drive, and SharePoint really meets some of our particular needs. They have documents. For example, SharePoint is set up with a series of apps. So these are called document libraries, and there's 2 on the page, so there's 2 titles, and we can give them each different permissions. So for example, on this page, we just set it up today, and all employees have permission to visit this page. There's actually another Ed Services page that most people can't even see, but this is one everyone can get to. And we've set up unique permissions. So these are documents that Gail and Michelle need people to have access to and view, but they don't necessarily want them to change. So any document put in this library is set up for view-only access for all of our employees. So it gives them a place to store and share documents without allowing people to accidentally change them. Staffing rosters is a little different. These are files that they use when they do staffing in the spring. They ask to have these posted in SharePoint with principals and building secretaries having access to edit them. So this is in a separate library because the files in these folders can be edited by a certain group of people. So this is the type of flexibility SharePoint gives us. It's one of the reasons that we really like it. I know that Lou and Nancy and Val over at CHIP have been working, and they've got their scheduling department information here. So they did a very similar thing. Again, they have, and you'll see more on my screen because I have access. Lou, hopefully I'm not giving away all your secrets. But they've shared, they have scheduling documents for Chippewa and Dakota. And because Lou and Nancy work together so closely, they gave each other permissions between them. And then Val has permissions. And since Val works with both schools, it's really convenient for her to have all the documents in one place. But again, other employees don't have access to these, so they can't be changing them or accidentally deleting them. Anyone have questions so far? If you do, feel free to unmute your mic if you want to pipe in with anything. Another department that's really been taking advantage of SharePoint is Pupil Accounting, and Joanne has done a great job with this because she often has to have our building secretaries fill out information. So she's shared these documents and gotten all of our building secretaries into SharePoint, but again, the access is limited, so they're not able to accidentally change or delete any of her files. But you can see one of the other things they've done is post a calendar. So you have the ability to add lots of different apps in here. There are calendar apps. There are apps for links or contact information. So we can customize your page however you want. So Joanne has added dates here that deal with the pupil accounting and our pupil count days. You can also do some customization. One of the things that we've done with Pam under curriculum and assessment is we made the background a little prettier. We went with the Chippewa Valley watermark in the background just to brighten it up a little bit. If you wanted to get a little more unique and colorful, the Fine Arts Curriculum Council has done a custom background, and they went obviously with a theme that fits their curriculum. So there's a lot of customization we can do. And to show you some examples of the other things you can add to your page, this helps you when you're first getting started, this Get Started page, to it'll just take you to some pretty common functions. But our Technology Council, you've got Brian Hadfield has added his contact information here. He has a calendar for our council meetings, and then he's added a lot of links that are applicable. He's got a text box with the vision statement for technology, and then helpful documents. So again, SharePoint, it gives us the flexibility, it gives us permissions. So our next steps in terms of moving the U drive, which is why most of you showed up today, is to set up what you need. So if you have department documents that you need moved from the U drive into SharePoint, if you communicate with me in terms of what type of documents you need and who would have access to them, I'll work to get the basics set up for you and then show you how to transfer files and then how to add new files as we go. But that's our basic plan, to get us out of the U drive into something that's a little more manageable for everybody. And Scott likes it because it's free.
Sarah?
Yeah. Hi, Patty.
Hi. SharePoint did contain, and I came in a couple minutes late,
That's okay.
the student home directories. Where will I currently find that in the new SharePoint out there?
We have that. From sites, there is, I left out probably one of the most important sections, but our technology site, just like we had a technology services page on the old SharePoint, we do have one in the new one that has all those documents. So in our documents is the all school or the all student directory. Look, I won't be able to find it now. I know it had not been updated for this year. I think with more and more people getting to Office 365, we'll use that less.
Sarah?
We have a lot of teachers here, though, that are still currently using it.
Sure. Yeah, Craig, did you find it?
Yeah, click the documents title and you'll see the entire contents of the documents folder. And because it lists all the folders first, it's going to be near the bottom.
Yeah. It looks like we're at the bottom. I can send it to you also, Patty. I know I've got it handy.
Oh, wait, what's this one?
Oh, here we go. Student directory web search. Craig has it all organized in a folder for us. And from here, you can download a copy. So teachers don't necessarily have to log into SharePoint every time they need to access it. So in SharePoint and Office 365, this ... means more, gives you more options, almost like a right click. So you can click that and you can do another ... and you can download a copy.
Was it actually updated on August 19th, or is that still the same one from February?
That's when we uploaded it. That's when we were moving documents over the summer.
Okay.
This is still last year's. If a lot of teachers are using it, I can ask John to work on it.
A lot of teachers in our building do use it.
Yeah, and they should have probably about 95% of their students still in there from last year. It's just move-ins would not be included in like kindergarten. So if they need help, just have them email me and we can try and get that updated.
We asked John to update that today.
Oh, did we? Okay.
I did.
Awesome. See, Craig's always ahead of the curve.
Well, not really.
You were gonna
Patty
need it,
emailed
Patty.
me this question yesterday or Friday, I think.
So really, over the summer, we did a lot of transitioning with moving the old files to the new site, and we're still kind of working on getting everybody in it. It's not hard to access. If you need I'd be happy to email you the directions to log into Office 365. Any other questions at the moment?
And if I may, Sarah, I'll just point something
Please
out.
do.
If anybody puts things on the U drive, then by default, they are shared with all employees, and all employees have the ability to delete or change them. So that's one of the things about the U drive. It's kind of wide open there. In SharePoint, when you get a SharePoint site, and just create a document library on a SharePoint site, by default, employees will be able to read things but not change them. However, the nice thing about SharePoint is that with a little training, once you own your SharePoint site, you can create libraries with all kinds of custom permissions, whatever suits your need. And you don't have to wait for somebody in technology services to set up those permissions for you. Once you own a site, you can create custom folders with whatever sharing permissions you need.
So if you have files on the U drive, you need some help with getting set up and migrating over, please contact me. We'll set up a time. We'll get that done before they are gone. If you have questions, please feel free to stick around. It is 3:15 on the dot. We are pretty good with the timing, so if you're all set, feel free to log out. But have a great day, and hey, if I don't see you, have a wonderful holiday.